I wanted to do this because I wanted people to know about my story, I guess, and not what I've been through, but what I'm going through and everything. When I was 5, we moved here, and we were just like trying out churches all over, and we came here, and I was in 1999, I think. So I've been here for like 12 years, and like, I just remember coming here, and our like little Sunday school was in the trailer, and then we had the tent and everything, and I just remember it being a lot of fun, and I liked all the teachers, and my mom and dad liked it, so. After CIY about 2 years ago, when Bobby and Jeff and Craig and Carol left, and we really didn't have a youth leader, I just was like, what's the point? Because like I wasn't really getting anything out of it. And then when I heard that they were getting a new one, Dave, I was like, all right, I'll come try it out. And then that was a little weird. But then, so I like didn't come to church for a really long time. And my mom and dad were going over to Generations, and I tried it over there, but I didn't really like it that much. But then I heard that they were getting a new one here again, so I came to this church. And I remember the first night, I was like, wow, this is really good. Because I'd like never listened to one of my youth leaders like so intently before, and like it was just weird. Because even I told my mom, she was like, oh, how's the new youth leader? And I was like, I've really never listened to what any of my youth leaders had to say, and like it hasn't stuck in my mind, but the message that night really did. I became a Christian from really being born into it, I guess. Like, we always went to church when I was a kid, so I basically grew up in the church, I guess, and like got a little Bible from VBS when I was like 5, I think, when I prayed a prayer for Jesus to come in my heart. But I was 5, so like I didn't really think much of it at the time. I think I first started really like thinking about it the first time we went to camp in like 7th grade, I think, is when I like really thought about it again. Because like, I would just come to church just to hang out and stuff, and it didn't really mean anything to me. But then after camp, I just like started realizing more and more. Being a Christian means that trying to live your life like Jesus and spreading His word and being a good example to others, bringing others to Christ. And being a Christian really isn't like the stereotype, because the stereotype is everyone's like, they all have to be perfect, but no one's perfect in the church, really. In 8th grade, this kid Adam was like, somehow we got started talking about like religion, and this kid was like, how could you believe in that stuff? Like, how could you not? There's like all these stories about how great God is and all the stuff that He does, and his power and his love. And I don't get how anyone could believe that there's just like nothing there.
My father's fury oppressor. One day you feel the full blast of
Actually, when I like experienced God the most, and it was really weird, was in camp 2 years ago again, when it was like Justin and Bobby and Jeff Holstrung and like Craig and Carol. We didn't really have a youth group, like a youth group leader. I remember like saying to my mom, and I think I told Will, I was like, I wish that we had like a youth group leader that was like young, funny, like really cool. Like he didn't care like too much, but he cared, and like he really didn't like try and like shove the Bible down our throats and everything. And like a youth group leader that was like really cool and stuff. And then when Tim came, like it was like he was like all that, and it was just really weird because like I had wished for that and I got it basically, because through prayer, I guess. Yeah. I was in like 6th and 7th grade. I remember coming to youth group with, and it was like Audrey, Brittany, Jessica, Alex's sister, and just like a bunch of high schoolers. And I used to always like look up to them, and I used to always think that they were like the coolest people. And I guess now I never really realized it until the other day when someone told me that I was a leader in this youth group. And I never really thought of it that way. But now I realize that I am the role model, and I need to be a role model to people in the youth group and outside. I think people should do Through His Eyes because, I mean, really got nothing to lose, and it's just a good way to share your story, even if you don't think you have one, because you don't have to be like a drug addict, you don't have to be homeless, you don't have to be like famous and then have like some massive fallout to have a good story. Everyone has a good story, it doesn't matter at all what it is.
As I exalt the Savior, the one that died to buy my victory.